Yo, what is up, buddies? Today, I'll be walking you through my first ever UX design case study that helped me land my first design job. Your first case study can be anything. It can be like a redesign of an app, your school project, your project you work on with friends, a volunteer project, freelance projects, anything you want. I personally chose to do a redesign or a feature design of one of the apps I use the most often, Discord, and I happen to be twinning with the app right here with my Discord partner jacket. I chose an existing app because it was personally easiest for me to work with an existing business model, existing user base, so I have people to interview already using the app to find some pain points out so I can help solve them in my design case study. I created this in late 2019 when I was pivoting my career from engineering to design, so some of the user interface elements are out of date. So essentially, I started off with interviewing some friends who use Discord for gaming and social activities, trying to cover different use cases of Discord to understand a common pain point. And the common pain point I found amongst those use cases, it is that it is difficult to keep track of messages with all of the servers and channels within the server. Now let's hop into it. Hopefully you like my experimentation with Loom. I'm going to be floating around the screen throughout this, trying out new things for content creation. Anyways, UX design is like problem solving, so I put the problem front and center. How might we make it easier to keep track of messages? And in the structure of my case study, I tried to make it easy for the recruiter and hiring manager viewing this to navigate, so I have sections where they can easily jump through different sections throughout my case study. And we're going to teleport back to the top so I can walk y'all through. So I first introduced the context of the project to set the scene, such as the skills, the tools, what is Discord, and the problem I'm trying to solve. I also added a video of the final prototype as a hook. I first started off with research. I did some user research and market research and summarized my key takeaways. It's important to have it skimmable, so not having too much text but make it really visually appealing to people to get the main points across quickly, because lots of these recruiters and hiring managers browsing through your portfolio are looking through a ton of portfolios at a time. For market research, I looked at different apps similar to Discord with similar features and summarized my takeaways here. I then summarized it into my problem. It's hard to keep up with the messages. I then recruited 2 design friends to brainstorm how might we help people keep track of messages on Discord, and we came to a solution of personalized bookmarking feature. Then I defined some requirements for that feature. I then integrated this bookmark feature into the current existing flow of Discord so users can smoothly onboard onto it. After laying out where bookmarks would exist in the overall app, I then went into sketching. I like starting with sketching because it helps me come up with solutions and brainstorm with less constraints compared to going straight into Figma or Sketch or XD. I then got some feedback on my sketches with some friends and avid users of Discord, and then proceeded on to my medium fidelity explorations in Figma. Here is where I made more specific explorations on different interactions of the bookmarking feature. I added adding bookmarks, accessing bookmarks, and deleting bookmarks. And y'all have probably seen the double diamond, and here is where I like to show different ways that I can do divergent and convergent thinking by listing the pros and cons of each exploration in relation to business needs and user goals, and using those to justify why I went with which iteration I decided to move forward with. And in order to validate my designs, I did some usability testing with some friends I was hanging out with in a coffee shop. I like usability testing and seeing other people walk through my prototype because it gives me an idea of whether they can walk through my task and how well they can actually use my designs, just to validate everything. After testing, I then made some more visual design explorations of different features, such as how would the user access these bookmarks? Is it through the server menu? Is it through their profile? Is it on top? Is it highlighted? And again, listing cons and pros of each and deciding which one to move forward with. And this is like how people would select the bookmark categories, how this would display, and more exploration. It's always good to explore and think critically about pros and cons of your different explorations. Very, very fun. I then got some more feedback from some friends and jumped into a high fidelity prototype. Now this is important. This is actually one of the most commonly questions I get asked during interviews is, how do you measure success? And so I like to start by defining what is success and using metrics to measure success. For example, I like to make sure my design solution meets user goals and business needs. So I have different metrics of measuring user experience success. How well does it solve the problem for a user? Another set of metrics of measuring positive business outcomes. How well does this generate the company more money? Or how well does this company help save time for the company? Revenue saving or revenue generating? And thinking in terms of metrics helps you being able to talk through these, because this was just solely for practice, not affiliated with Discord. This feature did not get built out, and so this is how I would demonstrate how I would track post-launch metrics. I also included some edge cases, thinking outside the box a little and how this feature could go beyond my case study. Lastly, I ended with takeaways. I summarized my case study, talked about some challenges and lessons learned. I think this section is important because it showcases your learnings and growth as a designer, something hiring managers look for. It's also good for you to reflect on your learnings so you can bring them along with you on all your future endeavors. I hope your portfolio adventures go well. Feel free to hop on my portfolio website, link in description, if y'all would like to see some of my other case studies to help you along on your case study journey as a reference. Side note, I actually have not updated the product design section on my portfolio since 2020, so some things are out of date, but that's okay. I also run the world's largest design community called Design Buddies on Discord. Link down below as well. Y'all are welcome to join, access more free resources, meet other designers, and I also regularly hang out there. I have more videos coming soon on YouTube and TikTok about UX and career, answering a lot of the FAQs I get asked, and sharing some knowledge about what I would tell myself as a designer starting out. Feel free to like and subscribe, and go slay your case studies and hope you land your dream job.